Good morning, students. This is Dr. Apurva Chawla, Assistant Professor of English, Government PG College, Narayangarh, Haryana. The topic of today's lecture is characters in the play The Merchant of Venice, and this is the first part or part one of my character series of the play. So in this presentation, I would be dealing with two major characters that are Antonio and Shylock. If we have a closer look at the character of Antonio, we see that some of the major characteristics of his personality are that he is melancholic in nature. Although he is a wealthy merchant, widely respected in Venice, when the play begins, he is presented as a sad and melancholic person. He himself confesses and admits that he remains sad but does not know the reason for his sadness. His friends also try to find out the reason behind his melancholy, but all goes in vain. They just guess that perhaps his ships are at the sea, that's why he's worried about their well-being. Will they be able to reach the ports or not? He himself admits that every man has a part to play on this world stage, and says that his particular part is that of a sad man. So we see that melancholy is one of the traits of his character. Then his love for Bassanio and friendship for his friend Bassanio is the major characteristic. This is his finest quality. We know that Bassanio is his only intimate friend and also his strongest life force. This is the reason why he even stakes his life by signing the fatal bond with Shylock. Antonio is a general philanthropist. He does good to others. He is generous and kind enough to lend money to others without charging any interest, like Shylock does. So this is the reason why Shylock even hates him. Then we see that Antonio, although he's wealthy, he's widely respected, but he has a passive attitude in the sense that he does not have a will to live, or we do not see any clear purpose of life. His wealth is dispersed as his ships are out at the sea, and in the beginning we come to know that he stakes everything on fair weather at the sea. So he is not practical in investing his money. Moreover, he lacks vitality and has no will to live. This is evident in the trial scene when we see that he gives up so soon and is willing to meet his death, not caring for life. Though his friends Bassanio and Portia, they struggle to save his life. He asks the Duke or the court to pronounce its judgment at the earliest. So thus passivity, we can say that passivity is his greatest weakness. Then he has a general prejudice against the Jews. We know that Antonio is a Christian. In spite of his noble character, he has a strong hatred for Jews, and Shylock is the biggest example. Shylock is a Jew and a moneylender. Antonio has racial and religious prejudice against him. There are many instances in the play where we see that Antonio abuses Shylock at the point of insulting him. So, these are some of the major characteristics in the personality of Antonio. Now we move towards Shylock. Shylock is a major character in the play. He is no doubt the center of attraction, for good or bad reasons both. He has been presented as a complex character, having contradictory qualities. He is a greedy moneylender who charges huge rate of interest from his borrowers. Apart from this, he is cunning, bloodthirsty, fanatical, as is evident from the signing of the fatal bond till the trial scene. But then most critics are of the view that he is more sinned against than sinning. If he, being a Jew, is merciless and spiteful, so is Antonio, who has abused him a lot in the past. He has humiliated Shylock a lot in the past. Then we can say in a sense that Shylock is also the hero of the play. If we look at the title carefully, The Merchant of Venice, it is not clear as to who is the merchant being referred to here, because Antonio and Shylock both are merchants. and both live in Venice. Thus, it is left up to the reader to judge who is the real hero of the play. I personally feel that it is Shylock because he has been presented as an individual with intellectual strength of purpose. He is a powerful character, whereas Antonio is, in contrast with Shylock, he is passive and lacks any purpose of life. Then Shylock's bad side consists of revenge. He's full of revenge and is clever enough, crafty enough to take revenge from Antonio. He has a passion for revenge, money, his race, and religion, we can say. He's full of hatred towards the Christians, whom he thinks have oppressed the Jewish race since centuries. In one of his speeches also, the famous Shylock speech, we see that he arouses sympathy from the readers when he says that he has been humiliated since centuries. He has been insulted by Antonio many times. So when Antonio approaches him for borrowing money in the first scene, Act 1, Shylock sees it as a big opportunity to harm Antonio, a Christian. And this is evident in his lines when he says, "If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him." So it is very much clear that he is full of revenge inside, and the bond gives him the opportunity to take revenge from Antonio. Then he is no doubt very greedy for money. We have already talked about his greed for money. In the guise of huge rate of interest, he charges from his borrowers. In another instance, when his daughter Jessica elopes with Lorenzo, now then Lorenzo is again a Christian, she also takes along his money and jewels. Instead of worrying for his daughter, Shylock is much more worried about his loss of wealth. His cruelty is at its height when he wishes that his daughter were dead at his feet and his ducats in her coffin. So he is very much greedy in that sense. He is also inhuman and cruel, and his inhuman nature is seen in the trial scene or the court scene. Here we see that his greed for revenge overpowers the greed for money. When Bassanio offers him double the amount of bond money, he refuses to take money. Instead, he is bent upon taking his revenge upon Antonio, when he is seen sharpening his knife to cut his flesh. No appeals from Bassanio or the Duke or Portia move him to mercy. He is therefore of subhuman nature, we can say. But all said and done, at the end of the play, he does arouse sympathy in the hearts of the readers, which is at the trial scene when he gets punishment and Antonio is spared from being killed at the hands of Shylock. Although it's a happy ending for the main plot and subplots, because they get resolved happily. Antonio is freed from the bond, the three love stories culminate in wedlock, but Shylock is one such character who is a tragic character. He has undergone sufferings in the past. He has been insulted and humiliated by Antonio because of his Jewish race. Then his daughter also betrays him and runs away with his wealth. So this sorry figure of his evokes a lot of sympathy for him in the hearts of the readers. In the end, we can say that in spite of his cruel and subhuman nature, he emerges as a powerful character at the end. So, I hope both these characters are clear enough. In my subsequent presentations, I would be dealing with other major characters in the play. Thank you.